Don't get meow hopes up. It's like he talks in meows. No, you need someone to hug. But no, he will sit in a box. He's just a cat. Cats are just so good. I just love them so much. Speedy. Does not take you long to get through. Can you see the little cute dude there? And he's just like, yeah, cool, great. Just, you know, maybe not hygienic to use your feet. This dude just loves elegance. This is weird. Like, all these books are so weird. I'm into girls like Jennifer Lawrence. Lawrence, nice to meet you. As you can tell, I'm very new to this. Hello and welcome back to another video. My name is Kizzy and today I'm going to be doing a manga vlog. If you watched a video, I think it was 2 or 3 weeks ago now, I made a TBR video of some manga that I'm going to be reading with my friend Debs, who is a manga expert. She has read a lot of it. She's very enthusiastic about it. I, on the other hand, have read none. I think I maybe read one book on a flight, and it was like when I was like 7 and my brother was there and I had to read it because I was literally sat next to him in a tin box for that long. So he forced me to read it basically. So I remember nothing about it. I've never read anything about it. I'm an avid fantasy reader. I love fantasy. That's the genre that I read, but I've never read any kind of manga. I don't even read comics even. Like, it's just not, graphic novels are just not they're just not my thing. I don't think anyway. But I'm giving them a go in this vlog. She gave me 6 to read, but I am going to be reading 5 of them in this video and then doing a whole separate video in a few weeks for just One Piece, just reading One Piece for the first time. Hopefully I enjoy it, because then that video will be a bit weird if I don't enjoy it. If you didn't watch the TBR video, or if you'd like to go back and watch it now, this would be a good time, and then come back and then we can continue with the video. But she recommended that I start first and foremost with A Man and His Cat. This is about a man whose wife dies, I believe, and she always wanted a cat. So in her kind of memory, he goes and buys a cat, and it's just their journey. They're just like fun kind of like life together, friendship thing as a cat. I don't know. We're going to find out. So I'm going to read this today or tonight, or start it today. I can't remember how many are in the series of this. I'm holding it back to front. As you can tell, I'm very new to this. But we'll see how this goes. I think it's meant to be just a cute, kind of fun, light-hearted story. Just kind of ease me into the reading format. It's quite thin, obviously. I'll let you know how it goes, obviously, because like obviously when you read it, you have to read. It's the reverse that we normally would read in like English books. So you read the font. I'm assuming kind of like that. But I've never even read like a graphic novel, so I'm not even really sure how do you read? Like, do you spend ages looking at the pictures, or do you just read it? Like, how fast do you go through each page? That's what I don't really know, how I'm going to be able to like process the images and the text at the same time. Because like people that watch subtitles, I can't do it because I then focus solely on the subtitles. That's all I'm reading is the subtitles. I can't watch I don't know how people watch the picture and read the subtitles at the same time. Like I just don't know how you can do that with your brain. So this is going to be interesting. This is like, that's the bit I'm most curious about, is how I managed to get the story by looking at the pictures, reading it. How long do I spend looking at the pictures? I think some of them are like more kind of, I don't know, like I was going to say arty, but that sounds really pompous. I think some are more obviously like focus on getting really detailed pictures. I don't know. This I think is less probably going to be, I don't expect it to be like anything like that. I don't know. I actually have no expectations about any of these. I don't know what any of them are going to be like. I'm going to start with The Man and His Cat. We'll see how it goes, and I will let you know. Also got this giant Udi thing, which is the best investment I've ever had in my life. It's basically just a giant blanket. I can fit my entire being inside it in like a ball. So I'm going to be sitting in a ball of this thing and reading my manga for the rest of the evening. I will get on with that now, and I'll let you know how it goes and how cute this actually is. Okay, this is actually really cute. So I'm literally only chapter 4, but I don't know what page that is because they're not very often page numbered. But basically, so his wife has died, I think. there was a flashback. So like there was these panelings here in the black. I think that means it's a flashback to his wife saying that she wanted a cat. And like he goes and like, this cat's really ugly. Well, apparently it's really ugly. So like it hasn't been like picked. It gets all the cute ones get all picked first. Even though he's like really cheap. Everyone's like, no, he's like snot-faced and they don't want him. And he's ugly, so they don't pick him. And then this man comes and picks him, and the cat's like having a mental breakdown, being like, no, you're gonna regret it, you're gonna take me back, I don't want to be brought back, don't get don't get meow hopes up. It's like he talks in meows. And then the man says, I just decided I wanted him. He's so very, very lovable. I want you for my very own. And then the cat's crying. Honestly, it's so cute. And then he realizes that the man lives on his own when he gets to the house. I realise I'm just telling you the story now. But then, so like the cat's like really scared to come out the little cat carrier because it's like I've only lived in a box before. Like I don't know what to do with all this space. And like, where's your family? And then the man's like, I don't have a family. And I don't think he's responding to him, but like he just kind of is telling the cat he doesn't have a family, so he lives there all on his own. And the cat's like, no, you need someone to hug. It's like, you all alone. You have no one to pet and to love you. So it's like it goes and it like rubs up against him and it's like, it's okay, I'm here now, we're gonna be friends. It's very cute. And then he gives him a name, which is the bit I'm at now, so I'm gonna continue reading. But it's so cute. He's such a classic cat. So he's gone and bought him this expensive cat bed, but nah, he will sit in a box. My cat does that all the time. Excuse the quality. I don't think this camera does very well in the dark, but I was just reading this because I'm absolutely loving it. There's so many things. I think you have to be a cat lover to love this book, but if you are any kind of cat person or have a cat, this is the book for you. So I'm at this scene where he just bought a collar for the cat. Now, I'm not a collar kind of person. I don't like putting collars on mine, but I did try and put a collar on Leo, or my mum did especially just recently. And he's just exactly the same. He hated it the first time when he was a kitten. We tried to put like a flea collar on him because he had fleas. It didn't work. He was like, it like reverted inside himself and then like backed up for like ages. So we had to take it off him eventually. But then mum recently tried again, mainly to like detract like with the bell from him like bringing in mice. But look at him. So like he like goes to the place and he's like, he gets him a safety collar because obviously he doesn't want him to get hurt. And then he puts the collar on and he's like, you look so handsome, like look how nice you look. And then the next thing it's just this little face like, no, not today. And he throws it away. I'll not be wearing this collar. And there was a bit with a piano that was really funny. Look at him lying on the piano. I just love him. He's so funny. Sitting on the laundry. He's just a cat. Cats are just so good. I just love them so much. Honestly, this just makes me smile. Like, look at his little face. So he's taken a vendetta against his piano that the guy has because it's like, it's got such a powerful hold on him. So he's like destroying it and scratching it up. So then they put like a fluffy cover on it and he's like, oh my god, it's amazing. He's honestly just so cute. Look at him. I love him. So I finished A Man and His Cat. So it's really short, like it took not that long at all to read it. But it is super cute and I think there's like 7 or 8, maybe 9 in this series. But he's so cute. So like he kind of feels closer in the end to his wife because she died, and like getting the cat and playing the piano and like him like messing with the piano and like lying on it and stuff just reminds him of being with his wife. Look at him on the piano. It's honestly just the cutest thing. Like it's so sweet. I think I want to read the rest of it. I might be converted. This is kind of like a guaranteed one that I'll like though, because I like cats. So I feel like I couldn't not like it. So it was a good one to start with. And like juggling the pictures and the writing, like sometimes I do find I'm just reading the writing, especially if it's like pictures of the people. Because if it's the people, like I feel like I'm not that interested in it. But when it's got like Fukumaru's like little face, I think I'm pronouncing it right. Like I just want to look at his little face. I think I found a picture as well of what he actually looks like. So I'll like put my like fan casting of him. Like they'll pop up somewhere probably. He's like a little like flat-faced cat. So like they are quite ugly. I think they're quite ugly. And they do have like, they were known for, it says in the book as well, but they're known for having like kind of weepy eyes, which I think is why he cries a lot. But it's really cute. We've got like at the hotel I work with, we've got like one of those. And he has a very weepy eye. So like they do that and they're very cuddly. So cuddly. So like he kind of fits. He fits the story. But yeah, it's really cute. I like it. I'm enjoying it. I want to continue on. But we're not here just to read A Man and His Cat. So the next options I've got are, I think I'll go with like one of the kind of like the main big boys. I think I'm going to go with either the Chainsaw Man or Spy Family. I don't know which one. I probably won't do that now. I'll read that later this evening and once I get back from work. But I keep doing them back to front. One of these. One of these will be the next one. We'll figure out which one that is later. Maybe I'll go for that one because I feel like that's got the same kind of vibe. Like, it's not the same, but like closer in vibes to this one. So it would be a bit more of a change to do this one. And then I'd read this one. And then this one. And then we can finish on this one. I'm going to do that as a plan, actually. It might change, but maybe not. It was very cute. I'd highly recommend it. It's a very sweet little manga. Would recommend. So, I read The Chainsaw Man. This did not take me long. I realised I probably should have done a clip of me reading it in between or discussing it. Thoughts before, during, even. But I read it really fast. Like, literally within 45 minutes, I think I read this. Speedy. Does not take you long to get through. I gave it a 3 stars, which I feel like is maybe harsh, because I did enjoy it, but I didn't love it as much as I did The Man and His Cat. I think, basically, why I was only just getting into it when it finished. And because the chapters in these books are weird, because they're not like book chapters, obviously, because it's so small, and they're like originally published in such small chunks. They kind of just continue the story. So it's not like you can just like keep reading and you wouldn't even necessarily realise that it's changed chapter. You can just quickly go through it, and the ending of this book didn't feel like the ending of a chapter. I think I need to continue on to really get into it and really get to, you know, appreciate the Chainsaw Man. But he is so cute, the little demon. We follow Denji, who is very poor. His dad hung himself and left him with all his debt. So Denji now has to repay a lot of debt. And the way he does that is by killing demons. This is because he does it with the help of Pochita, who is this little chainsaw demon which sounds really scary, but he's actually incredibly cute. Can you see the little cute dude there? So he's got a little like chainsaw face, but they go around and they kill demons. And then one day his employer betrays him and tries to kill him instead because I think he's been possessed by a demon. Something happens. Instead, he's actually cut up into pieces and dies. But Pochita loves Denji, so he decides to give up himself and go in and give his soul basically to Denji. And Denji then becomes like a morph between human and demon. He's not possessed. There's difference between possessed and what Denji is. He's apparently very rare. This doesn't happen very often. But he's not possessed. There's a different kind of thing for people that possess. There's also like a different kind of possession as well. But I got a little bit confused to be fair. He does that. He gets morphed and then he gets picked up by this demon hunter who's like a professional demon hunter, works for this company, brought into this team that she's trying to build to kill demons, and he's obsessed with boobs. Like, I didn't expect that twist. He was like, he just wants to touch some boobs, which is a bit strange, not gonna lie. And he becomes obsessed with he falls in love with this woman, or just he just wants to touch her boobs basically. So he kind of does anything that he's told. For some reason she calls him her dog, and he actually does woof at one point, which is kind of strange. But because Pochita was kind of like a dog as well, I think he's also adopted those characteristics ever so slightly, maybe. I don't know if I'm just reading into that. But I am getting used to reading pictures as well, because this one had moments where it was just picture. So in that instance, you kind of just have to imagine what the story, and I actually kind of like those bits. I kind of am interested to read some books that are just pure pictures, because there are books in there. Pochita has a tail, but it's not a tail, it's one of those things, anyone have an old grass mower, where you had to pull the cord? My grandparents had one. I mean, it's not just one that you squeeze and can go. You had to pull the cord. So Pochita had one of those. I've never used a chainsaw, so I don't know if they still have those or not. But you can see his little tail briefly kind of there. That's really bad, I don't know. He had a little tail. So then when Denji got him, he became him. He also got the tail, but it comes out of his chest. So now he can turn himself into this devil, this chainsaw demon by pulling the cord. So it is a cool story, and I'm interested to see where it goes. I just can't rate it highly until that point happens. But at the end of every chapter, you get a cute little Pochito. See? Cute little dude there. This is the boobs chapter, and Pochito now has some boobs. I didn't notice that. So funny. And there's a really cute one. Let me find the cute one. There he is, eating some noodles. There he is. That's the really cute one. Like, he's so adorable. I like him. I want one. So yes, I thought this was good, and I will continue the series. I don't know how many is in this one. I feel like this might be quite a big one. As of June 2007, as of June 7th, 2022, 11 volumes have been released. So actually that's not very long. I'm willing to read 11 volumes of this. So I think I will actually continue on and see if Debs will let me borrow the rest. Oh, or I'll get that app that she was talking about and I'll read the rest on the phone. But I don't think I'll enjoy it as much on my phone. I hate reading on my phone and like on like digital forms. Like it's just not me. It's just not my thing. So maybe I'll see if she'll let me borrow it. So I think the next one I'm going to read is Spy Family. Don't know why, it's calling to me at the moment. So this is about a guy who has to infiltrate a school. Can't remember why, but he has to do that obviously by getting a family and a daughter. So he hires a daughter and a wife, but the wife turns out to be an assassin and the daughter can read minds. So she knows that they're both a spy and assassin, but they don't know that she knows, and they don't know that each other are a spy or an assassin. So there's a little thing going on. So I'm going to read that one next. I'll hopefully, instead, if I don't read this in like an hour, or if I do anyway, I will keep you involved a little bit more than I did with the Chainsaw Man. So it'll be better, more productive. So I'm about halfway through Spy Family. Probably a bit over halfway through actually. I'm in 2 chapters in, but that is probably the 2 biggest chapters. So I'm over 2 chapters in. I think all the groundwork is set. We've met all our characters. So Twilight is our spy dude and he has to infiltrate a school. It's all to do with keeping information, the war of information, that kind of thing. It is a little bit funny, like this guy has got a vendetta against him because he hates this politician that has a toupee because he's lying about his hair. But then Twilight steals the photos condemning this guy with the toupee. So now he's like his enemy. So there was a bit about that which was quite funny. But for this mission, he has to infiltrate the school because the school is the only place that the guy he's trying to find information on or kind of see what he's up to goes, because it's kind of where the elite hang out because all their kids go there. So to do that, he has to find a child. So he goes to an orphanage that's pretty dodgy, doesn't ask him for anything, and tries to find a kid. And the kid that he finds is this girl called Anya, who she looks adorable, like who wouldn't want to adopt her? But she's a little bit weird, and the reason she's weird, unknown to everyone else, is that she can read minds. So she's probably younger than she thinks, but she like sees or hears or reads that he needs a 6-year-old. So she's like, I'm 6, I am 6. Take me, I'm 6. And then she finishes a crossword puzzle really quickly because she can hear him and figuring out the answers behind her. But she's really cute. Like, she's like a kid, but like not a kid. And she knows that he's a spy, but she's really excited by that because her favourite TV show is a spy show. He decides to adopt her because he thinks she's really clever, so that she'll get into the school. And then he has to kind of like maneuver the fact that she's a child and that she cries all the time and that she has like weird requests and like it's a child basically. That he didn't expect. And then she gets in, she passed the test, but they have to do like a parent interview, and obviously he doesn't have a wife, so he has to find a wife, which introduces our next character, which is Yor, and she is a kind of awkward character. She works day to day in some kind of record keeping place, like just kind of a quite benign job, but then she's an assassin by night. But all her colleagues kind of think she's suspicious because she's a whole age of 27 and not married, which is apparently dodgy, and they think that she might be a spy because apparently that's what they think everyone is. So yeah, so she is kind of like a bit down that she kind of like is being judged. It's kind of, well, not down, she's worried basically that she's gonna like get suspicious because she doesn't have a partner, and her brother's worried about her that she doesn't have a boyfriend yet. She doesn't want her brother to worry. So when they bump into each other, she invites him to a party that her colleagues are throwing, who are really mean and horrible actually. They're not very nice people at all, and that's how they meet. And they're both like doing like spy and assassin things. Like she catches a plate of food with her like leg like in the air, and he's just like, yeah, cool, great, just, you know, maybe not hygienic to use your feet to catch food. And she's like, okay. But he doesn't think that's like abnormal. And then she like is really like clever and like on it, but then also equally not. And he's like not kind of like clocking on. He's also doing like getting chased by these baddies, but at the same time she's not really kind of thinking, oh, this is weird that he's getting chased. He says that he's a psychologist and that he like knocks his patients out, and she's just like, okay, I'm enjoying it. I think they'll be funny when they're all together, cute and funny and just a little bit of a laugh. I'm excited to continue on. I might try and finish it this evening. It's only 9 o'clock, but I'm knackered.
But I feel like this is one that I want to keep going. Like, I want to continue on with. This one and the cat one's been my favourite so far. But I'm enjoying this one more than I did the last one. So I feel like I'm more likely to continue this one on, or like want to know how it goes. And I'm finding it actually quite easy to read. The picture, like, I'm not really looking too much at the pictures. I do find myself more reading the text as I'm going along, and kind of only really looking at the pictures when a specific image grabs me, or if it's actually part of the text, or kind of like there's no text, so you have to look at the picture to be part of the story, to understand the story, if that makes sense. I'm enjoying my dive into manga so far, and I will continue it and let you know how it's going. It's really good. I really liked it. And my new favourite character is Elegance Man. He loves elegance. So they go to the interview and this dude just loves elegance. And there's like all these things happen. But look at him getting so excited about the elegance. I liked him. He made me laugh. I like this. I gave it a 4 stars, potentially 4.5, just because I liked it, but I didn't like it as much as the cat one. But I think maybe in the long run, I could like this as much. So at the moment, I'm on a 4 star, but there's only 8 in this series I just looked up. So I think I will continue it and finish what's out so far. I'm just looking, there's some extra bits at the back. Bonus content. So we've got 2 on offer. These are the ones I was least excited, or like least, I don't know, drawn to, shall we say, out of the 5 that I have. So we have Jujutsu Kaisen. That was terrible. I'm terribly sorry. And we have the Yakuza's Guide to Babysitting. So this is where a girl's dad is a gangster. So he gives her, when he has to look after her, to his bodyguard. And it's just their kind of time together. Maybe I'll read that one last, because I feel like it's maybe similar vibes. I'm trying to change up the kind of genre of manga that I read. So yes, this one next, and then this one. So I am about halfway through Jujutsu Kaisen. I'm about to start chapter 4. And this is weird. Like, all these books are so weird. I don't really quite know how to make of them. They take you a while to get used to the weirdness of them. Like, every concept. Even, like, the book with the cat, the man and his cat. Even that's just kind of, like, a weird concept. Like, kind of, like, not your everyday kind of read. Yeah, so this one basically is about a boy who is already kind of not supernatural, but extraordinary, shall we say. So he's already, like, super strong and really fast, but he's at school. He doesn't want to be part of any like sports team because he just kind of like, he feels like he's not special or anything like that, just because he can do it better, I suppose. So he decides to kind of join this occult group that I've started. It's just them 3 where he kind of just sit and do nothing, but they end up discovering this unknown artifact that they think is kind of like witchy or ghosty or something to do with that. And then he somehow ends up meeting this guy who's trying to hunt down this artifact. Turns out the artifact is actually the finger of a curse. These curses in this world are kind of big monsters. I think this little dude up here is like a curse. So yeah, so this finger is from this curse that had 4 hands, I think. So there's 20 fingers for them to find. But this guy is searching for this one that they found in the thing. It starts attacking them, and then the only way he thinks that he can save everyone and his 2 friends from the group is by eating the curse and kind of becoming powerful, because the curses become more powerful by eating other curses. Do you know what I mean? This sounds so weird. Like, they sound like the weirdest thing. And then it turns out, because he is like super strong and supernatural, kind of almost, he's like 1 in a million years person who can actually contain curses within him. He either has to die because he's now a curse, and obviously curses are bad, so he must die, or they've managed to convince the like higher board of the school. So the Jiu-Jitsu school is where this guy that was hunting them all down from. I've done a very bad explanation of this, but it's weird. So they convince the higher boards of the school to let him live and not execute him straight away, because he can contain these fingers. So they're like, let us hunt down all the other fingers, and then he can eat them, and then when we kill him, we'll kill all the curses inside him at the same time, so it'll be good. But he's now kind of got like 2 personalities, because this demon, so the first kind of like finger demon like made him into this like weird excited looking dude. Is it gonna focus on you?
Oh well, you can see a fuzzy version of him. And then now this other one that he's now consumed the second finger because they had it just like lying around. They didn't have to hunt it down. It like speaks through his hand now. So like that's what this cover is. So like he tries to like, it's quite funny actually, he tries to like cover it. So it like comes out on its cheek and starts like just talking like crap. So he like tries to cover it, so then he comes out on his hand and continues talking rubbish. Yeah, it's a bit weird. I don't know what I am thinking of it so far. It is so strange, but there you go. I'm gonna finish this now, I think, because there's not much left of it, and I'll let you know how it is after that. And then we've only got one more left of the vlog. Finished it. Honestly, it doesn't take long to read these books. They're so fast. But I finished it, and I think the author is maybe my favourite person in it because he puts like little notes. So like this is at the in between the chapters, and this one is let's eat kiku fuku, I think. So he's written a little note saying, I get excited when I actually come across the regional products shown in travel shows. For example, the TV program Dudeshu, How Do You Like Wednesday, introduced me to Akafuku Mochi. So I thought I'm going to do the same in my manga and introduce Kukufuku Mochi. So that was like a food that was mentioned in the previous chapter. And then you know what happened? Ideki's Japanese confectionery, the makers of Kukufuku Mochi, sent me their product with a letter. Is it okay to be happy, or should I feel a little embarrassed? You can order products online and have them delivered, so those of you who are interested, please give the mochi a try. They're super delicious. I highly recommend the hoji tea flavour. I don't get any royalties, by the way, so order away. And then in a little thing it says the bag of your mochi comes in is cute too. Like, it's just little funny things. And then there was like another one that there was a page and he was like introducing himself, and he was like, yeah, so he's introducing himself and he's like, my name is Yuji Itadori, and I'm into girls like Jennifer Lawrence, nice to meet you. So random. Maybe it was in the Jennifer Lawrence peak era. So yeah, the next, like, one of the other chapter ones is, in life there are situations where it seems dancing is the only logical option. When working on a weekly series, this happens every week. And then it's got two characters dancing, which I just thought was funny. So yeah, I did enjoy this. I'm not sure what to make of it. And it obviously left on a cliffhanger again, because they always do. So I feel like I still need to read the next one to know what happens. But I don't know. I don't know how I feel. I feel like maybe reading one of each is not enough to know. Like, I am enjoying them. They're just so different, obviously, from reading something like an epic fantasy where you get like 1,000 pages worth of words. Whereas this is, sometimes I do find it a little bit confusing because the art kind of jumps a bit and I'm not sure what happens. Like this last fight scene that we had, it's set in a detention centre and there's quite a lot of curses about, and they've all split off, so they're not all together. So there's a lot happening on a page that my brain can't quite kind of figure out almost what's happening in a way that I would like. I don't know if that's part of the kind of element of reading it, is that you kind of just you're forced to kind of imagine what's happening in between and kind of almost envision it as a cinema kind of effect almost. Like, I'm quite a visual person. Like, I like to kind of visually see in my mind what's going on. So obviously having it on the page means that obviously that helps in a way, but also it's not as free for me to do that, if that makes sense. So like, if it's just text, I can visualize it how I want, whereas on here I have some of it and it kind of almost stops the process of me visualizing it, because it's like there's bits missing and I'm trying to fill in the bits whilst also processing the bits that are there. That doesn't make much sense, I don't think, but that's just what I found when it's like at the very intense fast fight scenes. So like, that's kind of all you get on a page, which is a lot of it, but also like not a lot. So like here, like, I'm not sure really what's happening here. There's just a lot of kind of like buildings and stuff like that. And because obviously you don't get any descriptive, it's literally just from the words. And it's just from the pictures even. I don't know where they are in the detention centre. Like, it's not very well situated. You just have to kind of assume it's somewhere. So yeah, it's very interesting to kind of, because it's literally pictures, you expect all the visuals to kind of be there for you. Whereas actually I think you have to do a lot more work to put it in a kind of smooth scene. But then I don't know if that's just how my brain works, how I like to see things. I don't know, but that's my thoughts so far. We have one more book to read. It is this one, which I think will be a lot of fun. It's The Yakuza's Guide to Babysitting. So I discussed that briefly earlier, and it's quite short, this one. So yeah. Oh, look at the cute little end page. So I'm excited for this one. This is only like 140 pages long, so it won't take me very long.
I quite like these bigger formats as well, like this and the Man and His Cat are much bigger than the kind of like more, are they mass market? Would that make sense? Of these ones. So we'll read that one. We'll see how that goes. It's a bit more light-hearted maybe. Well, he's like a mafia person, isn't he? But maybe not. We'll find out. So I finished the Yakuza's Guide to Babysitting and I'm not sure how to rate it. I thought I would like it more. Kind of like how I liked A Man and His Cat, because I thought it is kind of that wholesome side of manga rather than like the action-packed side of it. It's literally about a kind of gangster dude whose boss has a daughter who he then employs to babysit, kind of to give him a little bit of, what does he say? He says like sense of responsibility. So he lacks a sense of responsibility apparently. So he gives him his daughter to kind of babysit, and she's a very shy girl that doesn't really talk very much, and over the kind of period of the manga you find their relationship grows and she kind of becomes more comfortable around him, and it is cute. Like, it is sweet. It kind of does read, each chapter's quite independent. Obviously the running storyline is that their relationship is like kind of growing and they're becoming more comfortable with each other, but each story is very short, or chapter is very short and kind of contained, which wasn't my favourite way of reading it. I kind of preferred the mangas that had more of a constructive like plot going through it, rather than these like short funny kind of like episodes almost within the single book. But I did enjoy it. I gave it a three stars. It just wasn't my favourite that I've read over this week. So overall, final thoughts on manga as a thing. As someone that's never really read it before, I found it quite easy to get into it. The kind of reading from the back to front wasn't that much of a struggle for me, just because I kind of think I knew basically that's how it was. My friend who flipped through it, who'd never seen one before and never even knew that it was back to front, thought it was a lot weirder than I thought she would have, as someone that had never seen it before. So maybe that was why I had a bit of a helping hand there. The main thing I think was for me whilst reading it was balancing the pictures versus the words. I did find myself a lot of the time just reading the words. The pictures were kind of background information that I was kind of absorbing but not really paying attention to, kind of just like osmosis. It was just there, and if I picked up on details on it, then that's what happened. I think I will try some more, and obviously I've got One Piece to do as a separate vlog coming up in the new year probably, so hopefully that will be good. And there's a few of them, like I think Chainsaw Man and Jujutsu Kaisen, I think, are the ones that I need to read more of to decide whether or not I like them. I think reading just one of those isn't enough to really decide on that, so I think my ratings for those probably aren't the most like educational, or like I don't have enough information to justify, I think, giving it a proper rating or a proper review. So I think I might try and read some of those and then decide whether or not I actually want to continue. I think they're like 17 or so mangas long. I don't know. I can't remember. One of them is at least. I did enjoy this week though, and I liked it. I don't know if I'm fully converted yet. I do think I prefer reading chunky books. I think I prefer chunky books and series rather than this so far. Maybe I could learn to like it as much. I don't know. So we'll see. That's the reading vlog. I hope you enjoyed this. I feel like it's all been in the dark. This is the first day that I'm filming in the light, and I have always been in my new like fluffy jumper. So apologies for that. I promise you it was filmed over a longer period of time than just me sitting in that. And I have washed it, don't worry. So yes, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one very soon. You can tell it's, spoiler alert, it's not filmed in December. Don't add that in, but I was just thinking that.